Are you serious? Welcome to another broadcast. And I tell you what, it's getting stranger out there every time you turn around. You never know what science is going to do, you never know what anybody's going to do anymore. And now we've got a report coming out that scientists have decided they would like to send $6 billion, $6.7 billion eggs and sperm from 6.7 million species to the moon. I'm trying to understand why in the world you would want to do that. But they say the reason is very important. It's sort of like a Noah's Ark last resort opportunity to save humanity, not just humanity, but save the species, to save life as we know it. I guess they are determined or really believe that this Earth is going to completely be eliminated, and they want to try to figure out a way to put life on the moon. And so, and I'm thinking about this, what would bring about that type of situation, and how do you make something like that work? And here's what we're going to do. We got to find out if anybody has a clue the rationale behind this, and is it possible? Let's bring Ronnie McMullen on from GetTheT.com. That's www.getthet.com. Ronnie, forget Noah's Ark. Scientists want to send sperm and egg samples from 6.7 million Earth species to the moon as a modern global insurance policy. What's your thoughts on this?
My question is, are they going to jump out of the petri dish and mate? Are we sending live animals with no keepers? Are we sending a groundbreaking team that's going to go to this other planet and they're going to be in charge? There's a lot of questions with this information.
Here's what they say they're going to do. They call it a lunar gene bank, and the specimens will be deposited in an ark. It'll be kept refrigerated at cryogenic temperatures with the facility powered by solar panels on a lunar surface. So they plan on going to the moon, building the facility, and then sending the ark with 6.7 million species. And
so don't you find it funny they're going to put it in an ark? It sounds like a major imitation of God.
It really does.
They don't want to say that they're trying to imitate God, but I'm sorry, they're trying to imitate God. It's pretty clear. And here's one for you. So there hasn't been much activity on the moon, so why'd they pick the moon to do this with? They haven't even gone there and built civilization yet. So it's kind of like putting the cart before the horse, which, science in the top levels definitely loves to put the cart way before the horse. In fact, let's not even hook it up to the horse.
Exactly. And without thinking ahead, before we think this far in advance, why do we need to do it? Okay, so what is it that we don't know about, that they know about, that makes us have to? We got Elon Musk wanting us to race and build a colony on Mars. Scientists want to build this sperm bank, this gene bank on the moon, and we're building underground cities on Earth. What is it they're not telling us, Ronnie?
I think they're telling us that we're doomed, and they're the ones dooming us. So, the Mars project's been going on for years, picking certain people to go up and to mate with other certain people so the genes are pure and blah, blah, blah. And so then that brings in another realm. What do you mean pure? Are we not all pure? Are we have extraterrestrial connections? I mean, what is it? Or is this have to do with the GMOs, which is another organism that is being mixed? I mean, this goes deep. And obviously, they have a lot of information. Maybe this is in the Catholic vault that we're not allowed to see, but they have a lot of information that they want to be God. And, boy, I tell you, if I was God and all infamous power, I might see, this is why I'm not in charge, because I might just take them right off the map. And maybe they're fearful of that. So they're creating a new world on Mars and the moon.
Well, and as you bring this up, why do they feel we're not good enough? I mean, now you've walked into this transhumanism, AI, man mixed with machine, clay and iron in the Bible, genetic altering, slicing, splicing, cloning. Why mess with what's already been perfectly created, Ronnie? I mean, what are we doing?
Because the creation that we have right now is God's creation, and they don't like that. Or maybe they're not, I don't know. They seem to have this connection with ruling over people and forcing people and dictatorship that seems to be where they're going. And that must be a disease. Some people have diabetes, and some people have, a situation where they just want to boss people around. I don't know. It's weird.
It really does matter. It does, I guess, matter what kind of disease you're dealing with. And we may be dealing with some kind of alter ego, some kind of godlike, narcissistic mentality.
Tyranny.
Yeah, what do you think about this cancel culture? I mean, is that part of it also? Who are they going to cancel out and not take on the ark? I mean, are they going to manipulate the genes to a certain group of people or certain race?
I think they already have, because if you look at what we're being put in the arms of people at this very point, even in Dodger Stadium, this is not even tested. 9 months of testing, and I guarantee it's probably not even 9 months of testing because paperwork has to go through. So what are we being shot up with? What's the real thing going on? I think by the time the real information comes out, it's probably going to be too late.
Folks, Ronnie McMullen's with us from GetTheT.com. That's www.GetTheT.com. Ronnie, as we're talking about all these things that certainly are very confusing, and like you said, we haven't been to the moon in 50 years, unless we haven't with a secret space program that we're not really being made aware of. And so that's why they have such confidence in this. And are we doomed is the other question. I think you made the point. Well, are we doomed? Is that what they're thinking? But as we go forward now, shouldn't we be trying to just help our bodies that we already have? I mean, shouldn't we try to figure out a way besides all the pharmaceutical stuff? Isn't there a more natural way? Isn't there a more biblical way? Isn't there some way that we can help ourselves out without trying to create a new person?
I, for me, lean to the natural way, to the herbs. They've been here for thousands of years. But, some people, they want the quick fix, They want to go and take a pill and they're fixed for this, which they don't realize that pill might be not fixing, but band-aiding one issue, but it's causing 3 other issues. There are some people taking 20 or 25 pills that are all pharmaceuticals. And so they're destroying their body. So yeah, I lean to the herbs and find it interesting in the beauty of our nature. And we have leaves and we have plants and flowers and trees. Some of that stuff is good for the body to change and to be put back on track. So they have a study where people are taking walks in forests and it's changing them to relieve cancer. So this is something where the herbs and the trees are such a huge part. And this was where our pharmaceutical trade used to get their stuff, is from the herbs, from the plants, from the flowers, the trees. Not anymore. Now they get it from petroleum, which is the same debacle as OPEC. And, if you notice, since Biden's taken office, I would say something else, but I'd get you in trouble. So since he took the office, since he took it, read between those lines. If you notice, gas prices have gone up huge, probably by, I'd say, at least 30-40%. So this is crazy, and this is not going to stop. Inflation is cooking as well. So, it's interesting. I think the healthcare system is going to kind of chop like a wet taco. And then everybody's going to go, well, we can always get herbs. But by that time, I'm curious how much supply there's going to be left of the herbs, because right now it's hard for me to get product. It's kind of a challenge. So, and we finally got the colostrum in 14 months. 14 months. We waited 14 months for colostrum. And people are like, what's wrong with you? You didn't order it? You didn't have enough money? And it's like, no, we did this 14 months ago. We finally got it in, so colostrum's available. But the long and the short of it is, I would say stock up. I mean, it's interesting. We think, this is really interesting. We think things are good for us when really they're not. Like many people go, hey, bad water is not good, so I'll get RO, reverse osmosis water. People don't realize that when you drink reverse osmosis water, yes, it's clean, but sometimes it's so clean, it depletes your minerals in your body. So what happens is all of a sudden you're exhausted, you're got wrinkled hands and everything else because you're dehydrated because of the RO water. And why is our regular water tainted? Because we have all the chemicals that we're spraying on the plants. So we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot multiple times, and we expect, God to rescue us, and he's kind of going, you did this. And then he's probably, if I was thinking, he'd probably be saying, and who did you elect to be in charge? What king did you pick?
Wow.
And actually, I would just kind of put my hand up and say, God, I didn't pick the last one. He stole it.
Folks, Ronnie McMullen's with us from GetTheTea.com. Ronnie McMullen's with us from GetTheTea.com, folks. And it's quite interesting, I think, that you bring up the fact that at one point, the medicine was being made from really good research from the rainforest, from the trees. Ronnie, can I ask a question? I agree with you. If I take a long walk and I walk through the woods and I walk up maybe also just down the road, but if I'm walking between trees, do you think it's possible that the trees and the leaves and the plants are releasing something in the air that's healing to me?
Yes.
Do you know what it is? I mean,
notice I'm stuttering. Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely. And think of this. And if somebody says, oh, he's full of bull, well, I'll just tell you this. Take your blood pressure and go for a 30 to 45-minute walk, and don't think about any problems during that walk, and go take your blood pressure when you're done and see what happens. And this is also for type 2 diabetes, because people don't realize in type 2 diabetes, if you get excited, if you get scared, if you get worried, those all drive your numbers up. So you can meditate or go pray and spend 30 minutes just kind of getting grounded and literally drop your blood sugars by as many as 20 points.
Wow.
So people don't realize the natural way is the way. We've just been taught that the petroleum way is the way, because as long as they sell petroleum, they're making money. We have free energy that's been available to us for probably 50 years. Free energy.
Yeah.
But how do you make a buck on free energy? Because that stupid word in the front, free. So they know that, we'll just keep drilling and messing things up and killing animals and killing people and everything else because we need to make money. And who would ever think, and they're even feeding our plants. This is why you have herbicides and pesticides and Roundup Ready. And look how many lawsuits has been going on with Monsanto. So this is something where we've shot ourselves in the foot so bad. We've contaminated the water supply, the air supply, and the GMOs that are changing us. And again, GMOs, genetically man-made organisms. So what is those organisms and how do they get there? So this is why when I do my herbs and my stuff in Get the Tea, it's clean, it's GMO free, it's organic if it can be. And we try to keep stock on our stuff so that, we have not raised any prices during the COVID. Nothing. So we're trying very hard to get people the goods. And I'm probably one of the only companies that try to teach you what things do. Like if you're having RO water and you're kind of exhausted, get some minerals. And guess what? We have Minerals Plus. And you could be buying Minerals Plus, and that'll counteract. So people don't realize there's things you can do. Another thing too is if you're dehydrated, just take a pinch of salt. We've been taught by the doctors that salt's bad for you. What a crock. Salt's good for you. Now, tons of salt, yes, that's bad for you. But a pinch of salt here and there, absolutely good for you, because guess what chases salt? Water. So when you take some salt, you get thirsty, you drink some water, guess what? You're hydrating. A lot of people go, I don't drink water. I just have Coca-Cola all day. Very good to have. No. And I'm thinking, you're killing fructose. This is no good.
No.
So anyway, it's really important to get our nutrients and take care of our body the natural way. And some people, this will go in one ear and out the other, and other people are going to say, And I double dog dare you. If you're not feeling really good and you feel dehydrated, get some minerals, a little pinch of salt, and drink some water and see what happens. You're going to feel better.
Ronnie McMullen's with us, folks. GetTheT.com. That's www.getthet.com. And Ronnie's got some great specials also that he's running right now. And as you said, Ronnie, all of your products, you use the natural. You're not using synthetic material to make these. Your tea is amazing, and it just and not just it, but the supplements as well. Tell the people about the tea. Tell you don't have to give away all your great ingredients to your tea, but certainly tell us the process and why your tea is so good at GetTheT.com.
Well, because it's an herbal tea, it's not a green tea. People kind of get messed up and they think, oh, it's in a green package and it looks cool and everything, so it's a green tea and I can go buy green tea at the grocery store for much cheaper. You can, but it's just green tea. And green tea also has caffeine in it. We don't have caffeine because we have very little green tea. We have over 10 herbs, and it's basically called an herbal drink. And we had a connection with a big, huge company. I won't mention its name, but huge company that bottles some tea products. And they basically, they were interested in bottling the tea. But the one thing they said is, I can't imagine, bottling the tea that makes you go. And I said, well, some teas are out there and all they are is sugar teas. So they're not good for you. My tea will make you go, not crazy like. So it's telling the toxins, all the stuff that shouldn't be in your body to go bye-bye. So you're cleansing. And I don't know about you, but I like to cleanse. And when you cleanse, you're going to feel better. You're getting all the gunk that's in your body that shouldn't be there, and you're going to feel better. So Get the Tea is, you make it yourself, you brew it up, and you drink it in 2 8-ounce glasses a day, and life is good. And it tastes good. It doesn't taste like arsenic.
And that's true. It really does taste good. And you would think they would want to sell something that tastes good and is healthy. It doesn't make sense to me why you wouldn't want to do that. But there's a lot of agendas out there. There's a lot of people that are pushing their products, and for several different reasons. And do you think that there is some type of are they using food and drinks and pharmaceuticals to try to alter our DNA? I mean, not even talking about inoculations and things. I'm just talking about the food and drinks we have out there. Is there a grander plan involved?
Well, it seems that way because, when you have corn fructose, Coca-Cola makes no bones about putting GMOs in their Coca-Cola, right in the front page. So that's a genetically modified organism. They're not trying to squirm out of it. I will tip my hat to them for one thing. They have no punches. It's right there. But it's also not good for you. And corn fructose syrup is truly bad for you. And why is sugar in everything? I mean, literally everything. And why is wheat in everything? You'll get a sauce and there'd be wheat in it. And wheat is really almost getting dangerous now because of the gluten issue. And so people are celiac, a lot of stomach issues. And this has come from the gluten, from the casein. It's like an overgrown weed. So we're in a situation where our food's been tainted, our air's been tainted, our water's been tainted. So is this something like they're trying to do this? One would think that. I mean, I don't want to go in pure conspiracy, but conspiracy, if you look it up, it's the act of committing a crime, a willful act. And I don't think it's conspiracy theory. I think it's flat conspiracy. And think about it. If you have sugar in every kind of food and water and everything else, a lot of these waters, you go, wow, that tastes good. It's because there's sugar in it. And sugar is a toxin. So, and they get upset if you talk like that. So it's kind of interesting. We really need to, and I don't feel like being a rabbit. I mean, don't think people I want to be a rabbit and just eat spinach all day and alfalfa.
Right.
But on the same token, we do need to watch what we're eating and drinking.
Ronnie, let's go back to the original thought, and that was, okay, why in the world we're, instead of focusing on the 8 billion people that are on the planet now and how to get everybody food, clean food and water and nutrition produced, we're going to spend billions to try to put 6.7 million species of genes on a frozen cryogenic facility with who knows what the plan is on who's going to hatch them, who's going to hatch these people, and what are they going to do once they come on the planet? What's their food supply? But I guess my next question to you is, if this is where we're going, you've heard of the secret space agencies, the black space agencies, things that we don't know about, or at least they're keeping from us. Do you believe that this is going to come more into play as we get further down the pike here?
Yeah, I do. Their research is about 40 years ahead of our time. So with that being said, and getting back to the cryo and the storage of the seeds and the sperm, what happens when they mix with the wrong thing? It's one thing when you mix an elephant with an elephant, but what if you mix an elephant with a tiger? What kind of problems are we going to have now? And this is every experiment that I see that's quiet, secret, and expensive has failed. Very few things, if it's out in the open, there's people that can say, hey, what about this and what about that? But when it's quiet, you've only got, 20 people working on it, and they're all demented minds, it usually doesn't work. So we need to be praying that excuse me for saying this, that these morons are replaced. And people say that, well, this is crazy. I mean, I thought we have an economy that's about ready to die. So you're going to spend billions of dollars on a project that's going to fail miserably. And it won't end at that kind of money. It's going to be much more than that, because they got to put people up there, the people to watch it, unless they're going to put robots. And if they put robots, there's a whole nother problem. So, Space Invaders is going to become real. I don't know. It's scary.
Folks, Ronnie McMullen's with us from GetTheT.com, and he's right. It is scary. And when you start thinking about AI technology, transhumanism, now interplanetary travel, we're hearing that more and more. So do you think there's a disclosure going on, Ronnie, right now? Is there a soft disclosure? I mean, Tucker Carlson comes out every 6 weeks with another Navy pilot that sees another terrestrial or aerial phenomenon or UFO. Interplanetary travel, is this something that they're actually working on?
Yeah, best bet is to look at Stephen Greer. He's been studying this for a long time, and he's basically connected with the extraterrestrials in an interesting way, and he's teaching people how to connect with them. And of course, our space programs are these extraterrestrials are out to kill us and wipe us out. And he basically comes back and says, well, if that's the truth, they would have already taken us out, because they've been around for hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years. So they're ahead of us, and they're basically what he says, and his video is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. It's a documentary, but long and the short of what he says is we need to raise our consciousness on Earth quickly, or we are going to be gone. And this is why a lot of extraterrestrial ships will fly over missile bases and shut down our nuclear missiles, shut them down right there.
When you say shut them down, you mean just cripple their ability to operate?
Yes. And of course, this sends signals to inside where they're monitoring this, and they're like, oh my gosh, we're under attack. No, interestingly enough, we're under attack, but they shut down what's going to destroy the Earth anyway. And this is something that, and I always find it funny. America's always going, your space program and your nuclear program, we want to shut it down. But we never want to shut our own down. We just want to shut everybody else's down. It doesn't matter where that nuclear missile flies from, whether it flies from Russia, from China, or from America. When it lands, and if it lands, it's going to be detrimental. Ask the people from Hiroshima.
Yeah. And also, I never could understand why in the world that nuclear power plants were positioned on the coastal areas of the Ring of Fire, especially some of the most volatile. Today is the 10-year anniversary. 3/11/11 was the 9.1 earthquake that caused the Fukushima, the massive tsunami. 10 years ago today.
Wow.
And what have we learned from that? Have we learned anything?
I think it's still leaking, to be honest, into the ocean.
Yeah.
They don't want any Geiger counters in the Pacific Ocean because they'll go off. So they keep it quiet. And I remember when that first happened, nobody reported on it. CNN, Fox, nobody reported on it. And it was already in San Luis Obispo, was in their milk. There was radiation in their milk. So, and this is one event. This is not a nuclear war. One event.
Just an earthquake, an accident. Why we have all these nuclear plants sitting on the most volatile, shaky locations in the world is like an accident waiting to happen. And now when you start talking about nuclear war, nuclear annihilation, we just need one crazy narcissist in charge and anything could happen.
I think we have that. Isn't that the vice?
That's folks. We got Ronnie McMullen with us from GetTheT.com. Ronnie McMullen from GetTheT.com. Ronnie, let's look at this real quick. The specials for the month. I'm with you. If it takes you 14 months to get your suppliers, because it's so difficult to gather now the herbs and things you need, and also because of the delay in the shipping, everybody knows this now, that shipping on anything and everything is delayed with the mail and delivery. What is it you have right now that people should jump on and stock up a little bit?
I got two specials running. I got one that is for people with type 2 diabetes, and it's the Knockout Special, which comes with Takedown. It comes with Minerals Plus, so we were talking about those minerals. So it comes with that, and it comes with the tea. And you'll save some money, and don't forget to put Paul in the coupon code, and you will get free shipping. Also, we have another special with astaxanthin. It's a tongue twister. Astaxanthin and tea. Astaxanthin is good for immune system. Yeah, baby. And it's also good for your eyes. Really good for your eyes.
Wow.
So you're kind of taking care of your eyesight with the astaxanthin, and the tea cleanses you from all the garbage, so your astaxanthin can work better. When you're clean, okay, from all the garbage, all of your supplements work better. It's like turbochargers. When you're full of muck because you ate those Fritos or those Cheetos or those Ding Dongs, then they don't work as well. So it's just get clean and take the right stuff.
It makes sense. The cleaner you are, the more absorbent your body would be to the supplements. And instead of being clogged up and blocked and everything else where nothing can flow. So
too much lasagna is a killer, and I love lasagna, but it's pasta will kill you. So you got to lighten up on some of this stuff. But you can have steak, or you can have chicken, or you can have fish, and then you can have some veggies on the side. Life is good. Your body will react to it. It says, yeah, I like this.
I know. And, since I've had a life change in diet, I got rid of all gluten 3 months ago, got rid of all wheat, barley, rye, and oat because I was allergic to it, and all eggs. These are the things that I was most allergic to. I've changed my way of eating. Then I've taken it to another level, and where I'm now no sugar products at all, no sweets, and very little starch. I mean, a baked potato every 3 days, maybe. It's mostly just meat and vegetables and fruit. I'm losing weight, and I'm feeling great, and I'm drinking the tea, and it's keeping me moving, man. I'm moving and grooving. You know what I'm saying?
That's the way to be. We need you around for a while.
Yep. Working on all the areas of your life. Our body's the temple of the Holy Ghost, and I want to last as long as God intended me to last, or maybe longer, So
yeah, I'm kind of hoping that he takes me out before I hit 99. And if you're 99 watching this, more power to you. But I just think that's going to be a tough for me. My back already hurts.
Well, one of my moderators, her name is RoboMom. Her father's 99, and every year for the last 6 years, he watches me. I call him on his birthday. Okay, he lives in California, and I call him every year on his birthday. And this year, I called him in the summer of 2020, and he answered, and we talked, and I said, "Happy birthday again, John." He said, "I'm 99." He said, "But I'm only got 1 year left on my driver's license. In California, you can't get it renewed after you hit 100. Yeah. He said, "I'm going to try it."
Good for him.
Go for it, John. So, yeah, there's some people out there, but I asked him what was the secret to it. And he said, just he always had exercise. He worked hard. He ate very well. He stayed thin. He didn't abuse his body. And, he's a man of prayer, a very devout Christian. He goes to Bible study once a week at his age, drives there and back to church. And I think about him a lot and think, some people might say, wow, I'd love to see the 100, but, are we willing to pay the price and to do the things it takes to get there? Get the T would really help. And folks, Ronnie, tell them again, get the T. I know you want people to get G.I. Joy, B. Pollen,
Allison Advanced, yeah. Right. Those are all good. But astaxanthin's really good for immune builder as well. And it's good for your eyes. And, of course, if you're type 2 diabetic, you're going to definitely want the knockout special with the takedown, the Minerals Plus. The Minerals Plus is you can buy on your own, and that's anybody that's got RO water should be having the Minerals Plus. Because you'll notice, all of a sudden you'll get your energy, and you're like, whoa, where'd that come from?
On February 5th and 6th, 2021, we gathered doctors, scientists, investigative journalists, military intelligence experts, and Bible scholars for one of the most important webinars of our time, The Virus, Vaccines, Victims, and Victory. We examined the vulnerabilities of the population and explored the verifiable evidence of what's really going on. You can see all these discussions in a DVD set called The Virus, Vaccines, Victims, and Victory. Get it today at paulbegleyprophecy.com.